Hi everyone and welcome back to Star Wars Out of the Box with me, Dul Streep. Each episode I'm going to reach into this box of old Star Wars toys, books and memorabilia, take something out, review it, discuss its place in Star Wars and what it means to me. Before we get into the box today, I'd like to ask you to leave a like, subscribe and hit that bell for notifications if you haven't already done so. Let's see what's in the box today. It's Star Wars Galactic Heroes, Luke Skywalker and Han Solo. Right, so these are my two sets of Star Wars Galactic Heroes. As I said, Luke Skywalker and Han Solo, and then I also got Han Solo in Carbonite with Leia in Boushh disguise. It appears that I bought these at Forbidden Planet, which is an awesome shop in the UK that sells plenty of pop culture items. It says I got this for €6.99, but I'm pretty sure I've only been to the Forbidden Planet in London. If you are watching this video and you are from the UK, then you probably already know about Forbidden Planet. But on the off chance that you don't, please go check it out. I think the one I went to was in Shaftesbury Avenue. Despite these still being in box, they are by no means mint. So I'm just going to pull them open quickly. If you look at the back of the box, you can see that I've clearly made a huge mistake and not bought Luke Skywalker and Speeder Bike or Scout Trooper and Speeder Bike. Those would have been really cool sets. But also they seem to have lost their way a little bit. Given that this was manufactured in 2006, so we only had the original trilogy and the prequels, I'm not sure where holographic Emperor Palpatine with a lightsaber out comes into it. In a lot of the toys that I have, they'll often use the holographic figures to indicate that a character has died and has come back as a Force ghost. But by the end of the original trilogy, Palpatine was reduced to atoms and there was no sign of him coming back. Obviously this could also be his holographic projection talking to Vader, but at no point did he pull out a lightsaber then. The only time we saw him with a lightsaber in hand was when he was briefly discovered to be the Sith Lord that the Jedi Council were looking for, and gave us that great face. On the back of the other box, they seem to have paired up Ponda Baba with Snaggletooth. I mean, there's a wasted opportunity. Ponda Baba and Dr. Evazan, please. They're a buddy comedy just waiting to happen. Let's get into the figures that I have. So these are Luke and Han, clearly taken from 1980s The Empire Strikes Back, as they're dressed to survive the chilly temperatures of Hoth. I really like the characters' overemphasized features in this Galactic Heroes line. For example, Han's blaster, and a cheeky face that says, "What? Then I'll see you in hell" isn't a strange thing to say back to somebody who's just genuinely concerned about your well-being. Luke's got his lightsaber out, which makes me think that he's possibly involved in the Wampa Cave scenario. I must make a confession. That scene where he reaches out using the Force to get his lightsaber out of the snow. As a child, I genuinely went to my sister and said, if you ever see me standing with my eyes closed reaching out to something a la Luke in the Wampa Cave, please just take that item and put it in my hand and run away. Something that always bugs me about that scene, and I'm sure it bugs somebody else out there. After he severs the limb of the Wampa and starts fleeing from the cave, you hear the sound effect of his lightsaber shutting down, but you see it still glowing. This has always struck me as odd, seeing that George Lucas will sometimes put in the tiniest little changes that no one will even notice. For example, blinking Ewoks or a little rock in front of R2 where there wasn't one before. And yet this blatant lightsaber sound effect is there when the lightsaber is clearly still glowing. I have to assume that this is because the next shot you see him, he doesn't have his lightsaber in his hand anymore. But I would say, for me at least, it's far easier to make the jump of imagination that between the scenes of him leaving the cave and seeing him next, a little moment has gone by, versus clearly seeing his lightsaber still on while hearing that sound effect. Anyway, just a little bugbear, and I thought I'd bring it up in case anybody else has noticed it before. This next set is interesting. Han has clearly upgraded his blaster. For some reason, he also has a movable joint on his right arm, something that I haven't seen across any of the other figures. We also have Leia as Boushh, and you can tell she means business because she's holding a thermal detonator. But when you take the Boushh mask off, you can clearly see that she's still got that love in her eye for Han. This set also came with a pretty sturdy Han in Carbonite, and I love that because these are clearly aimed at slightly younger children, he's just got a nice big smile on his face. Possibly one of the worst things he's gone through in his life, just grinning ear to ear. Another moment from that scene in Jabba's palace always intrigues me. Jabba and his henchmen pull the curtain back to reveal that they knew it was going on all along. And in the background, in soft focus, you've got C-3PO with somebody covering his mouth. This isn't the first time that somebody has shut C-3PO up by blocking his mouth, and it makes me wonder why they make droids that way. Surely you'd just hear muffled screams as if you'd put your hand over a speaker. So those are my 2 sets of Star Wars Galactic Heroes. I think that I should invest in some more because I really like those speeder bikes. As always, I've prepared a little scene for you for the end of this video. Enjoy!
Luke? Luke?
Ben?
You will go to the Dagobah system.
Dagobah system. Luke! Don't do this, Luke. This may smell bad, kid, but it'll keep you warm. I thought they smelled bad on the outside.
This is rope 2. I found them. Repeat, I found them.
Thanks so much for watching Star Wars Out of the Box with me, Dul Streep. If you enjoyed it, please give it a like, subscribe, and hit that bell for notifications. And also, maybe go back and look at some of my older videos to see if there's any items that you had growing up. Until next time, goodbye. Pathetic. Also, check out my previous videos to see if there are any items that you might have. What's this one? Oh, I've got them both. Cool. The only time we saw him with a lightsaber was when he was... The only time we saw him with a lightsaber in hand... Oh, That's my pot roast. Han's blaster looks awesome. Well, I mean, that's nothing really. I really like the over-caricaturized... What else did I want to say about Hoth? Because she's holding a thermal detonator! And it makes me wonder why they make droids that way. Why do the eyes go where the eyes would be? And why when you chop off its head does it... I don't know, that wouldn't make sense. As always, I've prepared... what can I talk?